On this episode of Law Weekly, we bring you some of the highlights from the recently concluded 11th Annual Business Conference of the Nigerian Bar Association's section on business law. The conference, which spanned a period of 3 days, addressed various issues ranging from the global evolution of legal practice, the future of the profession, innovative trends, and the impact of technology on the practice of law. The arrival of the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, kick-started the opening dinner of the conference.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
The chair of the Conference Planning Committee, Mrs. Olubumi Fayokun, in her welcome remarks, speaks on the broad reasons behind the theme of the conference, law and the changing face of legal practice.
The Nigerian Bar Association section on business law chose this year's theme in light of the groundbreaking developments in technology which are affecting the practice of all professions, particularly our esteemed legal profession. With the proliferation of social media, the internet, and other technological advances which are driving globalization, lawyers and law firms need to make radical changes to ensure that they are able to keep up with competitors and changing client demands. Therefore, it is imperative for us in the legal industry to spend some time examining these developments and enlightening ourselves on how best to survive and thrive in this evolving operating environment.
Flowing from that opening, the host, the chairman of the NBA section on business law, Mr. Olumide Akpata, spoke on the practical steps the SBL has taken and will take on these issues, which have great impact on the legal profession.
We intend to sharpen the focus on capacity building for Nigerian commercial lawyers, and it is therefore no coincidence that this will be at the core of all the deliberations at this conference. We are, however, mindful of the fact that there's a limit to what can be achieved at the three-day conference. Indeed, our committees have hit the ground running, and I can only recommend that we all watch this space, because right after this conference, we will be witnessing a flurry of committee activities, all aimed at building capacity and encouraging specialization in the legal profession. Our committees are also committed to working very closely with NBA branches across the country and to take their programs to these branches with due consideration being given to the comparative advantages that exist in their respective jurisdictions. In addition to the foregoing, ladies and gentlemen, and in light of the unfortunate fact that quite a number of the subject matter areas that form the core of commercial law practice today are not being taught in our universities, we have commenced discussions with the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies with a view to collaborating with that institution on the establishment of a center for commercial law studies where some of these subjects would be taught. Still on the subject of capacity building, our council also recognizes that on-the-job training is one sure way of building capacity. And it stands to reason, therefore, that where there is a dearth of legal work, capacity building on the part of the commercial lawyer may not be fully achievable. To this end, our council has resolved that as a necessary first step, and thank God the Senate President is here, we will engage with all relevant stakeholders with a view to ensuring that where any law places certain categories of legal work within the exclusive purview of Nigerian lawyers, we shall ensure that such laws are fully complied with. Do I hear an amen? This council has also resolved that it will be fully engaged in facilitating the ease of doing business in Nigeria. This position is informed by Nigeria's persistently dismal ranking in the World Bank's Index of Ease of Doing Business. And it is also born out of enlightened self-interest, as we realize only too well that where business is impeded, there will be little or no work for the business lawyer.
Goodwill messages then followed from the leadership of the Nigerian Bar Association, the bench, led by the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice Ibrahim Alta, and from the executive as delivered by Mr. Adeniji Kazim, the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice of the whole state, Lagos.
In speaking to the theme, law and the changing face of legal practice, the operative word in this theme is changing. It therefore provides an opportunity to share with your profession my thoughts on some of the recent initiatives of our administration. At this moment of our national development and current economic recession, it is necessary that we put on our thinking caps and seek ways to fashion out policies that will provide succor for our people. In a recession, many businesses and economies crumble, and people lose their jobs and business opportunities become limited. Our contribution to help the Nigerian economy has been to spend heavily on infrastructure in the last 2 years to stimulate business and commerce and create jobs for our teeming population. We believe that this has in no small measure accelerated the economic recovery we are witnessing today. The simple attendant multiplier effect is putting money in people's pocket and at the same time creating an enabling environment for economic activity and investment. Lagos is now fully open for business. Today, one of the issues hampering the growth of the economy is the low rating of the country on the Ease of Doing Business Index. While the current efforts by the federal government through the recently issued executive orders are considered a good step in the right direction, we need to do more as a nation to globalize our laws and the practice of the legal profession in order to complement the efforts of government. Our laws and legal practice must give sufficient assurance to foreign investors on the safety and protection of their investments through a transparent and fair adjudication process.
Over the past 12 months, the section on business law has been working collaboratively with the Ministry of Trade and Investment, and a senior special assistant to the president gave a report on this collaboration, especially in the area of law reforms aimed at improving the business climate in the country.